Thoughts? I'll be watching tonight.
I'm a big NBA guy.
So I'll be watching tonight.
This take probably won't be very popular, but I would argue that Inside the NBA, the show that everybody loves, has done more damage to the NBA in the last decade than anything. Forget about this woke and left and right.
Yeah.
Inside the NBA goes on every week and just trashes players, trashes the style of play. Colin, you look at any other show, MLB Network, NFL Network, these shows, our network, we're all positive. We're excited. We're talking about the games. Inside the NBA, they just hammer the players. Charles Barkley's on TV. The Rockets are in the Final Four for that NBA Cup. Oh, the Rockets don't know how to play basketball. They stink. They don't know what they're doing. What are you doing? You're damaging your product on a nightly basis, hammering it. Colin, globally, the NBA is fine. Much bigger sport globally than the NFL.
Well, yeah.
In America, the ratings aren't great.
Okay. This is a really bad take. It's a really, really bad take. Possibly one of the worst that I've seen from Jason McIntyre. And there's been a lot. There's been a real lot. So first, let's show you the numbers, okay? Because he is not wrong that the NBA's ratings are down, okay? Via TalkSport. Viewership for the entire NBA down around 48% since 2012. So this has been on a decline for about 12 years. And NBA games on the four-letter network ESPN are down 28% from last season. Conversely, they would write, in a world where TV viewership is waning, Inside the NBA's popularity has never been stronger. The YouTube channel that they have has over 2 million subscribers, with recent clips featuring the crew's reaction to NBA Cup games regularly eclipsing 300,000 views. Now, many would despise these comments. One fan wrote, McIntyre is literally just there to clip farm, which I agree with. Another added, let me say something so ridiculous that it drives tons of views and traffic to our show. A third, they're just jealous because no one watches The Herd, let alone Fox Sports 1, the way people come together to watch Inside the NBA. There would be more. Truth is, a large amount of fans want to watch these shows to hear negativity and hot takes. They will take that over being positive every day. Just like this clip calling out Inside the NBA will get a lot of views. It has, but what I am very happy to report is that it has been widely condemned because it's a really stupid take. It's a bad opinion. And again, he has had many over the years. This one's horrible. Now, what I find to be rather peculiar is that somebody like Jason McIntyre will say they're too negative. The problem is they're too negative. And this guy poo-poos on everybody all the time, every show, every segment, over and over again. And specifically with the NBA, wasn't it you who attacked Kevin Durant and then you leaked direct messages that you and Katie had to then clip farm out of that and essentially raise your clout in the media? You did. You did. Now, before I get back to McIntyre, let's go over just some of the reasons why NBA viewership is down. And one thing that is the elephant in the room, okay? The first is they're shooting too many threes. I do partially agree with this. There was a clip that Rachel A. Demita put on TikTok, and while I was eating lunch, it was her going over game footage for like 2 minutes, I want to say. And I'm blanking on which game it is. Check out her TikTok. And every possession for 2 minutes straight was a three. Look, we have seen, I believe, the apex of drive and kick basketball. What I think we need is just a new movement. Yes, we learned through the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets when they were a hamstring away from going to the finals was, 3 points is greater than 2. So let's just chuck up 8,500 threes a game. I get it. They're also playing the numbers. I get it. So that is a reason for some fans deciding to not watch. I do believe that. Is it en masse? No, it is not. It's a small portion. The second is, and that mainly comes from an older audience, I do believe that. The second is too many games. Some of the best seasons, one of the best seasons, NHL and NBA, was when it was shortened. I do believe that there are too many games. I do. Like, the one of 82 on a random Tuesday night where the Wizards are playing the Hornets. Like, intriguing for some of us because we know the players. But for the masses, why would they spend what is coming out to be a chunk of change for parking, tickets, food, bevies, maybe some merch? The juice just isn't worth the squeeze there for someone to go, which goes into another thing. Let's say you watch those games and you even decide to give a portion of your time to that game. But then you see, hypothetically, LaMelo Ball sitting out rest. Yeah, that is part of the reason I do believe as well. That, the whole load management, Joel Embiid effect, I understand both sides on this. Sorry to chicken out, but I do. I understand why a player through an 82-game season where I said there are too many games are going to want to sit out and rest a few games here and there. I totally get it. I just do. But I also understand from a consumer's perspective why they would be really peeved at their favorite player, second favorite player, or the visiting player on the best player on a visiting team coming to town and them sitting. Like, you pay to go see Luka, and Luka's like, not feeling it tonight. Bad back, bad wrist, bad hand. Like, yeah, I'd be really upset too. But the biggest thing that nobody is mentioning, and I think this is intentional on why they are not mentioning it, is the exorbitant fees that a basketball fan has to pay in order to watch their home team's games. And this is a huge negative when it comes to cord cutting. I'll give you an example. I live in Chicago, right? My favorite team is the Bulls. I can't watch them. I can't watch the Bulls. I can't watch the Blackhawks unless when I have been given these games for a long time on WGN, on Comcast Sportsnet, on Channel 201, Comcast Sportsnet Plus, on, what was another one? NBC Sports Network Chicago. They decided to start a network called Chicago Sportsnet, which I know a lot of people who work there, phenomenal people. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the powers that be who run those networks basically saying, we're going to sit out until we get a better deal with streaming to put our network on there. So until then, this was recent, within the last 2 weeks, you couldn't even watch the games. Now you can, but you have to pay $20 a month to watch one team, the Bulls and the Blackhawks, because they're in season. The third is the White Sox. And if you want to watch both teams, you got to pay $30 a month on top of the cable package or streaming package that you're already paying for. I pay for Hulu. It's like $90 a month. I've thought about canceling 100 times, but then I saw YouTube TV bumped up theirs to, I believe, $84.99. So now I feel like I'm stuck. So I'm paying $90 a month for Hulu, and then you want me to pay another $30, that's $120, not counting internet and, of course, other bills, to watch teams that are not only from my childhood, but also bad. So that leads to, as I alluded to, the elephant in the room. It's streaming, guys. It's streaming. Sorry to state the obvious here. There was one company who bickered with Dana White online, and I think you guys know which one it is. They've been wildly successful. Wildly. And considering what I told you, why would people pay thousands of dollars a year when it just should be allotted to them in their cable package? Or if you have an antenna, you could do it, but it's a little hairy. It's streaming. People are watching the games. The ratings are down because they don't want to pay to watch the games. Like, it's the simplest A to B that I have. And yet guys like Jason McIntyre and company, they don't see it or they don't want to mention it. And let me just say, as someone who has seen how Jason McIntyre came up through the big lead, sold it, and then made his rise through Fox Sports 1, latching on to a certain person's coattails, this is the least bit surprising. And the fact that he was like, forget all the woke stuff. A tell. Once again, an absolute tell. But it's streaming, guys. Let's just say it and get it over with.